Hello, my friends, it's Johnaroth, and today we adopt the motto no pain, no gain, as we play with Nixilis, the Adversary. Nixilis is a 3-mana planeswalker where it has casualty X, where you sacrifice a creature when you summon Nixilis, and you can create a copy of Nixilis onto the battlefield. So you can typically, if you're willing to sacrifice a creature, you can start with 2 Nixilises on the battlefield. Nixilis can do a +1 where your opponent loses 2 life unless they discard a card, and then you gain 2 life if you have a devil or demon onto the battlefield. So there's some card loss, draining the opponent's life, and life gain for you. For -2, you can create a 1/1 red devil token, which when the creature dies, it deals 7 damage to a target. And Nixilis' ultimate ability is target player draws 7 cards and loses 7 life. So Nixilis is a very good, strong planeswalker where you can get out multiple copies of him onto the battlefield simply by sacrificing a creature. This deck is built around sacrifice. We have a lot of sacrificial cards like Shambling Gas, which can get us a treasure, Greedy Freebooter, which also gives us treasure. Some other creatures you can sacrifice like Piggy Bank, which will also give you treasure. And the more powerful your creature is, the more loyalty that the token of Nixilis will have on the battlefield. So there's some cards in here keeping that in mind. For example, there is the Hunger Tyrant. I'm not going to say that first name. I think it's Calaxion. That's a 7/2 for 3 mana creature. No abilities, but 7 power. If you sacrifice the Hunger Tyrant to Nixilis when you get it out, the token will have 7 loyalty, which means you can do Nixilis' ultimate. So the whole point of this deck is a lot of sacrifice cards and a lot of life drain cards. So some of the other, I mentioned some of the sacrifice outlets that you can have, but as far as draining cards goes, we have Meat Hook Massacre, which can deal damage whenever our creatures die. Blood Artist, which whenever a creature dies, our opponent loses a life and we gain a life. We have Marionette Apprentice, which has a similar effect. Bastion of Remembrance, whenever a creature you control dies, opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. There's a lot of cards in here that are basically pinging your opponent to death. So this is a very fast deck. You'll notice there's not a lot of cards on the top end of this deck because we're casting cards quickly with the goal of killing our opponent before they can cast their super big creature or super big spell. We do on the top end, we do have Rakdos the Muscle, which has sacrifice for an ability. Witch of the Moors, whenever you've gained life, your opponent will have to sacrifice a creature and you return a card. We also have some value here with Prosper Tombbound, who's a 1/4 Death Touch, where whenever you play a card from exile, you create a treasure, and he will pull cards off the top of your deck into exile every single turn for you to cast. Lots of value here. So there's a lot of cards that are broken into those 3 buckets, basically designed to ping your opponent constantly with life loss, sacrifice to gain value, and then ensure that the game is closed out well before they can do anything on a 5-drop, 6-drop, etc. So let us take Nixilis into the queue and ensure that our opponents experience lots of pain while we experience lots of gain. Let's go. Opponent gets to go first, and they are playing Kaladin. This hand has no black mana, so we can't keep this. This hand has black mana. I'm honestly not a huge fan of this hand, but we're going to keep it. We do have a Surveil and we have some removal. Kaladin is a 2/3 for 2 mana who... Let's see. Mounts and vehicles you control have haste, and whenever a mount you control enters, it becomes saddled. Whenever a vehicle you control enters, it becomes an artifact creature till the end of turn. So, really powerful artifact commander. There's not a lot of artifact commanders out there, so I will give our opponent Gorgonaut kudos for being interesting. We have a land on top. We really don't need any more lands, so I'm going to surveil that. Okay, our opponent brings out his commander. We're going to cast Bitter Triumph and get rid of the commander. Okay, our opponent has a Ragavan. So he's going to get a treasure. Go back to the hand. Normally I would not get Nixilis out this early, but I am going to get him out and bring out a devil to block Ragavan.
Go sow some chaos.
Next turn we'll probably go for Prosper. We'll see. Opponent summons Ragavan. And a Switch Graze Blazer. He's going to saddle it. Destroys the devil. We're going to destroy Ragavan with that.
Don't think you're some big hero.
Our turn. We're going to bring out Prosper. It's going to exile Mountain for us. He summons an unidentified hover ship. He's going to attack. Switchgrass Grazer's really doing some work on us. We are going to bring out Shieldred, make him sacrifice a creature. Going to bring out his commander again. Attack with the unidentified hover ship. I'm going to bring out... Cancel. I'm going to bring out the Bloodletter of Aklasas. Then we're going to do a Thought Seize on our opponent, see what he has. Fragment Reality. Well, that's scary. I'm going to get rid of his console, and then we're going to attack. Get him down to 14. Opponent's eyeing our creatures. Okay, he's going to exile Shieldred. Our opponent is really going all in on destroying our army here. It's going to hit us for 2. We're going to ditch the land and see if we can find something else. That's pretty good. We could get out the Vein Ripper. Okay. He can do 3 damage to a creature. This will deal damage. I think we're going to... We don't have enough to do both. I think we're going to get out the Burglar Rat to get rid of a card of his hand. Then we're going to use the Shieldred's Edict to sacrifice a creature. That should keep him from attacking. He doesn't have enough mana to do anything with that. If he gets another mana, he can bring that out. Hit us for 5. I could summon up Nixilis. I'm going to get out a little bit of our own army and hope he doesn't draw mana. Of course he does. Okay, he's going to hit us with the hover ship. We are going to attack with the piggy bank. Then we're going to cast our commander. We are going to create a devil. And then we're going to gain some life back in the turn.
And you'll lose everything.
Our opponent's going to kill our token off. Says good game. We are going to bring out a Vein Ripper. Okay, opponent's going to put it back in our hand. Perfectly fine.
Go ahead. Plead for mercy.
We're not going to attack. Whenever your opponent says good game, unless they actually quit, I never actually treat it as a done deal until it's actually done. I will tell them good game, but until they actually concede, you never know. They might be planning some last minute trick. But that was a close game against Kaladin, and our opponent's playing a pretty original deck, so good game. Okay, our second game is against Emperor Apasek. So this is a 3-color commander that wants to bring out big creatures and can grant huge benefits to those big creatures. For this hand, I'm going to keep this because of the ramp. We're going to put down a mountain. Put down a Chrome Mox. We will give up the... Fell the Profane to get black mana. We're going to bring out a piggy bank. Our opponent brings out a land and surveils. That's pretty good for us. We do get a swamp. We're going to attack with the piggy bank. And we're going to bring out our commander with a copy. Now we have our 2 commanders on the battlefield. We will make a devil and start pinging our opponent.
Shake down the locals. Pleasure doing business with you.
Okay, our opponent takes 2. We are going to bring out a Blitzed Tenacious Underdog, attack for 4. Gonna ping our opponent again.
By coin or carnage, tribute is owed. Defy me.
Tenacious Underdog will go to the graveyard. We'll draw another card. We get Yawgmoth. Really good commander. Okay, he brings out a Sword Tooth. We're going to bring out Prosper. We're going to ping our opponent again.
Pleasure doing business. Go ahead. Plead for mercy.
Our opponent's down to 8. Put down a land. Attack. Down to 7. Opponent's down to 6. Our opponent casts Vorinclex. In response, I'm going to use a Baleful Mastery on the Vorinclex to kill him. Remove him from the battlefield. We should be able to close out the game next turn. Our opponent never cast his commander, but we were ready for it. Emperor Apix, whatever his name is, super powerful. We're going to cast the Tenacious Underdog, attack for 5. Our opponent's going to have to start sacrificing some cards here.
Is my entertainment.
I'm actually going to make another Devil here.
Go sow some chaos.
Opponent's down to 1, but I think we can close this game out. We'll see. If our opponent attacks us with any creature, we could block it with the Devil. The Devil will die, but we will then deal 1 damage to our opponent, which would kill him. So our opponent definitely needs a way to gain some life here. Okay, we're going to block. Yeah, and our opponent, we block with the Devil. The Devil will die. We will deal 1 damage to his face. So our opponent will then die. On our turn, we could have brought out Yawgmoth, Blood Artist, pinged him that way, but there really was no answer from here. Our opponent was just too low on life. Good game. Good game, Emperor. For the Emperor. For our next game, we're fighting a very scary opponent, Lumra, Bellow of the Woods. This hand does have some removal in it for probably their Llanowar Elf, or what's the other one? Delighted Halfling. Some card removal, a strong creature. I'm going to keep this, but this could be a very scary game. Lumra is very powerful. He's going to have a lot of ramp, I'm assuming. It costs 6 mana. It's a Vigilance Reach creature. Yep, there's the Elvish Mystic turn 1. No shock there. We're going to kill the Mystic. We need to stop any ramp of his we can. Lumra's power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. When Lumra enters, mill 4 cards, then return all lands from your graveyard to the battlefield. If he gets this out, we are basically dead. We don't have anything in our deck that is strong enough to take out Lumra very easily. I mean, we have removal spells, but our opponent scoops. Taking out the Elvish Mystic turn 1 was crucial. He must not have drawn a land this turn, I'm assuming, so he's behind in mana, which will give us a significant advantage on our turn. On our turn, we can play another land, hit him for 3, and then sacrifice the Tenacious Underdog to get out 2 Nixilis and start pinging him that way. So if you can remove their ramp for a deck like that, then you do have a way to victory, but it's a very powerful, scary commander. Good game. Okay, our next game is against Ketramos, the New Dawn. Ketramos is a very powerful, very popular commander in the meta today. We don't have any mountains for red mana. However, we do have the greedy freebooter, which can get us a treasure and Phyrexian Arena for sacrifice. So I am going to keep this hand. Play the greedy freebooter turn 1. Super scary commander. A lot of people play Ketramos. Okay, he's going to duress us, which is unfortunate. We're going to hit him for 1. Cast Burglar Rat to get a card out of his hand. He has a relic. Our goal with this is to get him down to essentially nothing. That's kind of our goal here. Before he can start hitting us with Ketramos. Ketramos, again, is a 4/4 Menace Lifelink Indestructible. He can't attack or block unless they have 7 or more cards in exile. But whenever a card is put into exile from the graveyards, you draw a card and lose 1 life. I really want to get out on Nixilis here. Going to sacrifice the freebooter. And we will keep Black Market Connections. We'll first summon a Blood Artist. Then we will use the other mana to bring out Nixilis, sacrificing the Burglar Rat. Hit him for some more damage. Bring out a Devil. Then we're going to use Nixilis' ability to have him either discard or take 2 damage and we gain 2 life. Okay, he does bring out Ketramos, which is scary. Luckily, we've got a little bit of time before Ketramos can start attacking.
My coin of carnage. Tribute is owed. Defy me.
Gonna hit him. He's down to 13. Our opponent's eyeing the Nixilis we have. He kills one of them off. Looks like he killed the token. Gonna take 1, draw another card. If we can draw a land, we should be able to kill off Ketramos, which will... Oh, he's going to use the relic to draw another card. Actually, he's going to have enough to attack with Ketramos, do the exile effect. That's pretty good. Okay. He is unfortunately going to gain 4 life back. Ketramos is just such a scary card. Okay, he has a Solitude, so he's going to exile something. He's going to exile the Blood Artist. Not what I would have chosen. I would have gone for the Black Market Connections. Oh, it's only creatures. Okay. Well, he's definitely drawing a lot of cards here. We're going to use the Phyrexian Tower to sacrifice our Devil so that we can cast Shieldred. to make him sacrifice Ketramos. I'm hoping... Yeah, he's going to summon Ketramos again. Unfortunately, we don't have a ton of exile effects. So this is going to prove to be challenging. Because he's indestructible. We're going to attack with Shieldred. Then we're going to cast on Nixilis. Sacrifice the Shieldred.
I'm gonna remake this town in my image.
I want him to go after our original Nixilis rather than the token copy. So I'm going to make it an incentive for him to attack the original Nixilis rather than the token. He's going to destroy everything. Wow. Ugh. Why would you say good game? Guys, don't be a jerk. Don't be a jerk. I don't understand when people do that. I think us having that much on the battlefield kind of scared our opponent, though. We have a swamp, which we do need. Unfortunately, our opponent is probably going to win, even though they showed some poor sportsmanship in this game. We're going to hold off on attacking. He is going to hit us for some serious damage here. Okay, he's going to exile Lord Skitter. We're going to say no blocks. Though we are going to have to block next turn for sure. We will bring out Fable the Mirror Breaker. I'm hoping more for the ability to discard cards than anything else. Okay, we're going to use the Phyrexian Tower to sacrifice the rat so we can bring out Calexion, which is a 7/2 creature from the new set for 3 mana. Really good sacrifice card for our commander. We are unfortunately dead this turn. We're just going to let him hit us for 8. I will say, though, it is... Whenever people play on Arena. It's really bad sportsmanship to say good game if you're winning a game before the game's over, unless they say good game first. You're kind of being arrogant in your victory, and my favorite type of games are when someone tells me good game and I turn the game around and defeat that opponent. So I will say good game, but it's really important that we are all good sports with the people we play, because you're going to, even if you're the best Magic player in the world, you are going to lose some games. Not many, but some games. Good game. Okay, our next opponent, I have fought many times before. Really good opponent. Name is Squirrel. And Squirrel is playing Aroas. Got a victory. For our hand, we do have the Synthonian Nightmare, which I've been wanting to play in this deck because it's a good sacrifice enchantment. The hand is a little slow and we don't have any removal, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it anyway. So turn one, we're going to bring out the Gas Guzzler. Aroa says it's indestructible, 7/4. As long as your devotion to red and white is less than 7, it isn't a creature. We're going to put down a land, put down the Sithonian Nightmare, and attack. Okay, boost up our speed. Creatures you control have Menace, and you can prevent all damage that would be dealt to attacking creatures you control. So, yeah, so when the creatures block, you basically lose nothing. Okay, I'm going to attack with the Gas Guzzler. Get up our speed, then I'm going to sacrifice the Gas Guzzler to bring out Nixilis. We're going to bring out a Devil, start attacking his hand.
Go ahead, plead for mercy.
He brings out Delaney. First thing we're going to do is plus our Nixilis, which gets our speed up to 4. We're going to hit him again.
Defy me, and you'll lose everything.
I'm going to put down a Bajuka Bog on him. He could get out Aronis next turn. Let's see what he does. Let's see what our opponent does. What does this do? Whenever one or more non-attack. I'm going to put a stop before combat. Okay, he's going to summon Aronis. I'm going to take this opportunity to kill Delaney. So he has no attackers. Okay, on our turn, put down a land. We're going to summon Shieldred the Apocalypse. We're going to start seeing if he wants to discard cards.
Tribute is owed.
I'm going to bring out... Well, let's hit him one more time. Then we're going to attack with the Devil. We're going to sacrifice the Devil. We'll bring back our Gas Guzzler. Sacrifice the Devil. Do another damage to him. Now we have the Gas Guzzler on the battlefield. Okay, our opponent is going to Swords to Plowshare Shieldred. Good move. He has unfortunately a hasty rider, which means he's going to get a token out of this. Really unfortunate. We'll move our commander to the command zone. It is odd that he let our token live. Okay. I'm going to hit him for 2. We're going to destroy the rider. I'm going to bring out the Warren Soul Trader. And then we're going to see if he wants to... Let's bring out a devil, just to be safe. Yeah, and our opponent scoops. On our next turn, we can attack with 3 creatures, which is 6 damage. He's at 7. We could also bring out 2 more Nixilis, having a 3rd one on the battlefield, because he chose to kill our actual Nixilis and not our token Nixilis, the copy that we created. You can have multiple copies of Nixilis, just not the actual legendary Planeswalker. So that was a really good game. Thank you, my friends, for watching my video featuring Nixilis, the Adversary. Nixilis is a lot of fun to play. I would put him about the middle B tier. You can win a good portion of the games if you get going and pinging your adversary as early as turn 2, turn 3. This deck is about a bunch of small cuts that lead up to victory. So you're making them have to make those decisions where to keep cards in their hand. They're continually losing 2 life here, 1 life here, and it eventually leads to their death. I have a pretty good win rate with Nixilis. I will say the one weakness of this deck is if you get into the latter part of the game where your opponent is casting bigger and bigger cards like River's Rebuke, Blood on the Snow, Time Warp, etc. Those can be instances where you do lose, but for the most part, I win a lot of games with Nixilis, and it's a lot of fun to play. You get to fight a variety of different opponents, and just using the sacrifice effect is just something that's just satisfying to me as a Magic player. I did put the deck list in the description below. Please don't forget to like. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to comment. I would love to hear your interactions, your thoughts on the deck, your thoughts about Magic in general. Your favorite kind of coffee. I don't really care. I just want to interact with the fan base and get to know you as people as I continue to build my YouTube channel for world domination. Thank you for watching so much, and I hope you have a great day.